factorial, this is n, minus all over n minus x factorial multiplied to x factorial. Multiply ulit natin sa p raised to x, which is yung positive, no? Multiply to q raised to n minus x. So let's have here p of x. Wala tayong problema. As you can see, all the variables have their corresponding inputs except on the q. Again, for us to be able to solve for the value of q, that is 1 minus p. So therefore, that will be 1 minus 0.25, and this basically means that the q is equivalent to 0.75. Okay, so n factorial. Let's have here 11 factorial all over n minus x. N minus x, we have 11 as our n. 11 minus 6 factorial multiplied to x factorial, which is 6. So 6 factorial multiplied to the p raised to x, which is 0.25. Let's raise this to the value of x. So let's have here 0.25 raised to x, which is 6, multiplied to 0.75, where this came from. Ito po yan. Now, raised to n, which is 11 minus 6. Good day, everyone. So, welcome to our next topic. So, for this presentation, we will going to enter the chapter 5 of basic statistics. And this is all about the probability distributions. So basically, when we say probability distributions, it is actually divided into two, which are the first one is the discrete probability distribution, and the second one is the continuous probability distribution. So under the discrete probability distribution, we have here the binomial and the Poisson distribution. So it is not pronounced as Poisson, but rather it is as Poisson, but rather it is pronounced as Poisson. So take note of that, no? Poisson distribution. In continuous probability distribution, here we have the normal distribution. So for this presentation, what we will be discussing is just the binomial and the Poisson distribution. Okay, so let's start with binomial first. So basically, when we say binomial probability distribution, this is a probability distribution wherein we have only two outcomes, called binomial experiment. So the two outcomes can be the success or failure. It can also be yes or no. It can also be true or false, 0 or 1. So if the outcome is projected to be 3 or more, that is not considered anymore as the binomial probability distribution. Alright? So, to be able for a specific experiment or for a specific problem to be called as the binomial probability distribution, we have here the characteristics of the binomial probability distribution. The first one, there must be a fixed number of trials. So, meaning there must be a discrete number of trials that we will be having in our problems. And second, each trial can have only two outcomes and are mutually exclusive outcomes. When we say mutually exclusive, the success of the other possible outcome is not equivalent or doesn't have anything to do with the another success or another possible output or possible result. Meaning to say they are independent from each other, and that is actually the third one. The outcomes of each trial are independent. So for the last one, the probability of success is the same for each trial. So meaning to say, for example, we are talking here with the dice. I hope you are familiar with dice. The probability of having a result of two dots or the face of the dice where the two dots is in, the probability of that face is equal to the probability of having the 5 dots as the result, after the dice is thrown at the air. I hope you get it. So meaning to say, pare-pareho ng chances lahat, Next, for the formula of the binomial probability distribution, the probability of X success, that is our variable for this problem, in a binomial experiment with n trials and probability of success P is given by the formula P of X equals to the n factorial. Now, I hope you are familiar with n factorial on your high school mathematics. When we say n factorial, this basically means that, for example, we have number 3 as the value of n. This basically means we should get the product of 3 times 2 times 1, which is equivalent to 6. Now, let's have the 5 factorial. That is 5 times 4, that is 20, times 3, that is 60, times 2, that is 120, times 1 equals 120. So, that is what factorial means. I hope you are now familiar with factorial. For the calculator, if you are using FX991ES Casio, it is under the button of the mode or the setup. As you can see, there is a button of x raised to negative 1. The second function of that button is x factorial. So for you to be able to activate that button, you need to select first the button shift on the upper left part of the calculator before pressing the button x raised to negative 1 for you to be able to activate the x factorial button. So the x factorial button is again located below the mode or the setup button on the upper right part of your calculator. So that's it for the numerator, divided by n minus x factorial multiplied to our value of x factorial multiplied to p raised to x multiplied again to q raised to n minus x, wherein the p of x is the binomial probability, the probability of having specific result, n is the number of trials, x is the number of observed success. Take note, x is observed success, and p and q, actually this is related to each other. When we say p, probability of success on each trial, this is trial, sorry for the typo error. For the q, this is the probability of a failure, meaning to say, since it is a probability of failure and the other one is success, meaning to say the q variable is found by 1 minus p. Therefore, if we have 20% value of p, meaning to say we have 80% value of q. Why? Because of 1 minus p, or 1 minus 0.20, which is this one. Or 100 minus specific percentage. That is just the same. I hope you get the formula. Don't forget this formula. You will still use this formula up to your next major subjects. Alright? So for us to be able to understand more the binomial probability distribution, we have here the example problem. So as our example problem, it says here that in a survey, 25% of the people interviewed said they bought their refrigerator during the last 6 months. Okay? If 11 people are selected at random, find the probability that exactly, take note of the term, exactly 6 of these people bought their refrigerator during the last 6 months. Ayan. Solve this manually on next slide. So let's have the solution. First, let's have the given. Let's have the given for this problem. Okay, for the given, we have n. In a survey, 25% of the people interviewed said they bought their refrigerator during the last 6 months. Before having the letter n, let's write this 25% first. So meaning, since nag-oo sila, na binili nila yung ref nila nung last 6 months, meaning to say, ayun yung magiging value natin ng P. 25%. Or this is equivalent to 0.25. 25. Okay? Next. They bought their refrigerator during the last 6 months. Now, yung 6 months na yon, that will be now our value of X. Why? Because if you can still recall, no, X is the number of observed success. In our case, yung success na yon is yung pagbili nila ng refrigerator. So, that is the value of X. Let's have here X equals 6. I hope you get it. If 11 people are selected at random, ito na, if 11 people are selected at random, anong gagawin natin sa 11 na yon? Yung 11 na yon, ayun yung magiging value ng N. No, dahil sila na yung magiging sample natin ngayon. Malinaw na sa inyo yung sample and population. If 11 people are selected at random daw, yun yung N natin. Find the probability that exactly 6 of these people bought their refrigerator during the last 6 months. No, so exactly 6, ito na rin, ito yon 6 months. No, I hope na nakuha nyo. Exactly 6, bakit po? Yung kanina, in-honor natin itong 6 as yung number of months, no, the previous 6 months na binili nila. Pero ngayon, considered na rin siya as 6 yung value ng X natin dahil nga kung babalikan nyo, ang formula natin is naka-equate to the P of X. Meaning to say, when we say P of X, balikan natin to, binomial probability. Ano daw yung probability na eksakto? Anim doon sa matatanong na 11 people yung binili nila, yung ref nila sa last 6 months. No, I hope nakuha ninyo. So, parang ang nangyari, we have 25% na nag-yes na on the previous study. Then, gusto mong patunayan ngayon kung totoo ba yung ganong study. No, by having the 11 people as your sample size. So, dapat dyan, eksakto, 6 doon sa mga tao na yun, yung magsasabi, yung oo, na binili nila yung ref nila during the last 6 months. So, ang question, ano yung probability na eksakto 6 yung mag-yes, no, sa 11 na tao? I hope you get it. So, now, let's have the formula. So, let's have the formula here. P of X equals, let's recall the formula. We have N factorial over N minus X factorial multiplied to X factorial. Okay, let's have here the formula. Let's rewrite first N factorial, this is N, minus all over N minus X factorial multiplied to X factorial. Multiply ulit natin sa P raised to X, which is yung positive, no? Multiply to Q raised to N minus X. So, let's have here P of X. Wala tayong problema. As you can see, all the variables have their corresponding inputs except on the Q. Again, for us to be able to solve for the value of Q, that is 1 minus P. So, therefore, that will be 1 minus 0.25. And this basically means that the Q is equivalent to 0.75. Okay, so N factorial. Let's have here 11 factorial all over N minus X. N minus X, we have 11 as our N. 11 minus 6 factorial multiplied to X factorial, which is 6. So, 6 factorial multiplied to the P raised to X, which is 0.25. Let's raise this to the value of X. So, let's have here 0.25 raised to X, which is 6, multiplied to 0.75, where this came from. Ito po yan. Now, raised to N, which is 11, minus 6. Now, so, let's have the simplification of our equation. 11 factorial. Now, I hope you have your calculator with you. 11 factorial, this is equivalent to a very big number. 3991. Tama ba ako? 3991, 6. This is 6, guys. 168,800. So, 39,916,800. All over 11 minus 6, this basically means that this is 5. No? So, 5 factorial. Let's have here 120. Multiplied natin to 6 factorial, which is equivalent to 720. Then, ito, no, multiply natin. Let's have here, I hope marunong kayo mag-type ng exponent sa calcu. Madali lang naman yan. Just click the exponent function on the calculator below the circular button, no, at the center of your calculator. So, 0.25 raised to 6. Let's direct input this on the calculator. Let's multiply this directly with the value of e, so that we will be having a simple equation na 0.75 raised to 11 minus 6. This is 5. So, raised to 5. This is ayun, yung scientific notation pa. So, iyan na natin. Naka scientific notation. But you can actually, guys, dito pa lang, pwede nyo nang idiretso yan sa calcu, itong part na yan. No, pwede nyo nang idiretso yan. Pero for this presentation, since sinimulan ko ng i-detailed na natin. Then, times 10 raised to negative 5. Naka-scientific notation siya. Anyway, wala namang problem yan. You can direct this, itong multiplication na yan. Okay, by simply having this equation on the calculator, direct input nyo na, this will result to the value of p of x will be equals to 0. Ayan, naka-decimal siya ngayon, 0.0268. Since naka-decimal siya, gusto natin makita yung probability, we can convert this into percentage by just multiplying to 100. And when multiplied, of course, mamumove lang naman yung dalawang zero niyan, pag ganyan, nakupunta dito. So, this basically means that we have 2.68% chance na eksakto 6 doon sa 11 taong tatanungin mo will have an answer of yes, they bought the refrigerator during the last 6 months. I hope you get it. Check natin. Ayun, 2.68%. I hope nakuha nyo, that is basically how the binomial probability distribution works. So, for you to be able to grasp the topic more, another example tayo, example number 2. So, for this example, we have here the DOLE, or the Department of Labor and Employment. So, DOLE found that 83%, so take note of the first data na binigay, 83% of Filipinos think that having a college degree is important to succeed in life. If a random sample of 7 Filipinos is selected, find these probabilities. So, parang ang lumalabas, meron ng before na study, which is yun nga, 83% daw ng Pilipino nagsasabi na kapag may college degree ka is important to succeed in life. Then, yung 17, yung nagkatang percentage, kahit walang degree, okay lang daw. Yun yung sinasabi ng paper, research. Then, they are trying to prove or disprove this data sa current na nangyayari by having a sample, random sample. So nag-came up ito from a random sampling, of course, ng 7 na tao daw, 7 na Filipino. So, ilan % daw yung probability na mangyari yung mga condition na nasa baba? First condition, exactly 4 na tao yung mag-a-agree sa statement. So, take note, there's a term na exactly. Almost the same dito. Kasi dito, meron din tayong term na ginamit na eksakto. Kaya, yung solution for that is parehong-pareho dito. Dito sa ating solution na ginawa, sa unang problem. Wala tayong problem doon, madali lang siya. Okay, ito. Sa pangalawa, ito nag-iba na, At most, 2 people will agree with that statement. Meaning to say, among all those 7 people, 7 Filipino, na i-interviewin nila kung nag-agree pa siya na kapag may college degree is key to success in life. So, dapat diyan daw sa pangalawang condition, pinakamarami na yung 2. So, No, when we say pinakamarami na yung dalawa, may possibility na wala. Yung walang mag-yes, puro no. Hindi sila mag-agree dyan sa percentage na yan. Or pwede naman isa lang or dalawa lang. Hindi na pwede magkaroon ng tatlo sa second na condition natin. At most 2 kasi yung binabanggit niya. No, I hope nakuha ninyo. For the third, no, at least 5 people will agree with that statement. At least 5. No, meaning to say, pinaka-konti na, dito sa condition na to, pinaka-konti na yung 5. No, ilan sila lahat? 7. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng 5, pwedeng 6, pwedeng 7. No, I hope you get it. So, since we have 3 conditions here, we will be having also 3. Now, we will be having 3 na solutions. Okay? So, I hope nakuha ninyo. Sige, let's start by having first the given. Okay, so dito na lang sa baba siguro para ma-maximize natin yung next na slides. So for the given, we have here 83%. So basically, madali na lang tignan yung 83% natin. Ito yung magsisilbi na value ng ating P. No, and sabi natin Q is 1 minus P, meaning to say yung value ng Q natin is equivalent to 0.17 or 17% naman daw yung Pilipino na hindi agree doon. O kahit walang college degree, okay lang. Pwede kang mag-succeed in life. Yun yung binabanggit. No, I hope na-appreciate ninyo yung paglalagay natin ng given. That ito yung first part ng mga mathematical equation. I hope na naturo to ng basic mathematics nyo. And yun, ano pang next na given natin? We also have here a given na sa una, no, for mamaya na itong tutulong. So, dito muna tayo. 7. So, yung 7, that is our n, no, that is our sample size. And next, ano pa? Wala na, no? Wala na. Okay, so let's solve letter A muna. Gawin natin, no, letter A to, ABC. Wala siyang nakalagay, ABC na lang. Para hindi tayo malilito. Okay, so for letter A daw, ang condition dyan is x is equals to 4. Eksakto 4. Meaning to say, that will be P of 4. No? Again, formula natin. Ulitin natin yung formula, no? N factorial all over N minus x, which is ito yon. Yung kanina, pala, no, balikan ko muna. Baka magtataka kayo, dito ginamit natin is 6, pero hindi ko nilagay. No, 6, ito, 6 yung mga x, ayan, no, 6, and so on. Ito, pwede mo yan i-write, pareho lang naman yan, parehong tama yan. Pwede mong i-write yan, dito na lang sa taas, as P of 6 is equivalent to 2.68. Same lang yan, no, P of 6 or P of x, naka-variable pa kasi. Anyway, again, same lang, no, just for clarification. So, for this one, P of 4 is equals to n factorial all over n minus x factorial multiplied to x factorial times natin ito sa value ng p raised to x multiplied ulit ito sa value ng q raised to n minus x. Okay, so ito na yung formula natin para hindi ko na ulitin sa next, no. Actually, guys, if you are well knowledgeable enough sa ating two-liner calculator, madali na lang ito. Diretso input na lang ito hanggang sa dulo. Yung buong equation na yan. No, I hope, malalang akong time na magturo ng cycle na technique. Pero if face-to-face na tayo, don't worry. Lahat ng calculator techniques ituturo ko, no, sa classroom. Okay? So, we have P of 4. Value ng n natin, balikan natin, that is 7. Okay, so 7 factorial. Oops, this is 7. Sumudulas yung aking sinulat. Okay, 7 factorial all over n minus x. So 7 minus yung x natin, which is 4. So 7 minus 4 factorial multiplied to x, which is 4 again, factorial multiplied to p. Ano yung p natin? 0.83. So 0.83 raised to x or 4 multiplied again to q raised to n minus x, which is 7 minus 4 or 3. By the way, bakit ko sinulat na q? Dapat ito ay 0.17. Oops. Ayan, burahin ko muna. This should be 0.17. Ayan. I-write ko, no? Multiply to 0.17. Ayan, raised to x. Okay? So, again, tulad nung nabanggit ko kanina, you can have this in your calculator. Diretso nyo na. No? Kapag diniretso nyo yan, magbibigay sa inyo yan ng value that is equivalent to 0.0816. Or, in percentage, no, this is equivalent to 8.16%. Meaning to say, we have 8.16% probability na eksakto 4 doon sa 7 tao yung mag-yes sa condition mong binigay, na 83% daw ng Filipinos ay naniniwala na having a college education is important to succeed in life. So, I hope you get it. In our case naman, for letter B, sabi niya kasi dito, X daw is at most 2 people. So, at most 2 people, ibig sabihin, pinakamarami na. Therefore, yung X natin will be less than or equals to 2. So, sabi mo most, tapos naka-less than ka ngayon. Yes, ganun talaga. Kasi kung titignan mo, hindi yan sa English na same. Mathematically speaking, dapat daw yung X mo, no, at most, pinakamarami na yung 2. Therefore, yung X mo, dapat mas maliit or equivalent sa 2. Kaya tayo gumamit rather ng equation na less than or equals to 2. And meaning again ng less than or equals to 2, it can be 2, it can be 1, it can be 0. Therefore, unahin natin, siguro maliit pa angat na lang tayo, same lang din naman yan. Unahin natin yung P of 0. No, so parehong-pareho lang dito yan. Hindi ko na kukopyahin yung formula. No, we'll be having 7 factorial. I hope sundan nyo ako. All over n minus x, which is 7 minus 0. Right? Factorial multiplied to x factorial, which is ang x natin is 0. So, 0 factorial multiplied to the value of p and q. Ang p natin is 0.83. Then, ang exponent nito is x daw. Ang x natin is 0. So, ang q natin, 0.17. Exponent daw, n minus x. Ano yung n natin? 7. Ano yung x natin? 0. So, 7 minus 0, that is 7. No? I hope nakuha nyo. So, direct nyo lang ito sa calculator. Bibigyan niya tayo ng 4 decimal. 0.0000. See? Meaning to say, kung gagawin niya na fraction, this is equivalent to 0.00%. Meaning, sinasabi niya dito, na kapag daw yung probability of 0 yung hinahanap natin, ibig niya lang sabihin na wala, no? At least isa meron yan. May maniniwala sa survey na yan, sa percentage na yan na binibigay ng dole. Kasi 0 yung lumabas, 0 probability. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya totally 0 na naniniwala kay Dolly. At least merong 1 tao, 2 tao. Sana nakuha nyo siya. Check natin. Dapat sa P of 1 yan, meron na at least 1. At least may 0.01 man sa dulo yan. Dapat, no? Kasi ang 0, pure 0% yung lumabas. So, let's have here probability of 1 equals 7 factorial. All over 7, no? 7 minus si x, which is 1. 7 minus 1 factorial. Multiplied natin ulit sa x factorial. Ayun yung sinasabi ng formula dito no? Which is 1. No? 1 factorial. Multiplied to 0.83. Mag-ano tayo lagi no? Sa sagot. If ever na sasagutin na siya. 4 decimal. So, 0.83 raised to x, which is 1. Multiplied to our value of q, which is 0.17. Raised to n minus x, which is 7 minus 1, or basically that is 6. So direct input nyo ito sa calcu para diretso na, no? It will give us a value of 4 decimal 0.0001. O diba? Ito yung binabanggit ko sa inyo. At least meron ng 0.01 na maniniwala doon sa survey. Now move natin to decimal para maging percentage. This will be equal to 0.01%. Okay, I hope you get it. Now, 'di ba sabi natin at most 2 daw. So, pwedeng 0, ito yan, 0, 1, or 2. Okay na tayo sa 0, okay na tayo sa 1, sa 2 naman tayo. So, check natin. P of 2 is equivalent to ating n factorial, which is 7 factorial. 7 ang sample natin. All over our n minus x factorial, or 7 minus x. Ang x natin is 2. So, we have 2 factorial multiplied to x factorial, which is 2. Ito pareho, factorial. 2 factorial. Now, then multiply natin ito sa ating p, then raised to x, which is 0.83. So, let's have here 0.83 raised to x, which is 2, plus our q, 0.17 raised to n minus x, which is 7 minus 2. No? So, basically, that is 5. Diretso na natin. And direct input again sa calcu, this will be 0.0020. Or 1, 2. Ayun, ang laki, no? Malaki. Maganda to. 20%. Ibig sabihin, kapag 2 ang chinek natin na probability, gaano daw kalaki yung chance na dalawa doon sa 7 yung mag-yes, no, yung mag-agree with this statement, that is equivalent to 20%. So, para makuha naman yung value ng ating P of x less than or equals to 2, ito yung statement na at most 2 people. Ayun yung representation niya, mathematical representation. At most 2 people. Pinakamarami na yung 2 people. Para makuha yan, basically, ang gagawin lang natin is P of 0 plus P of 1 plus P of 2. And this is equivalent to x, probability of x less than or equals to 2 is equivalent to, ano yung P sub 0? 0.0000. No? Walang value. Plus P sub 1. Kunin natin yung ano muna, no? Yung nakadecimal. Sa dulo tayo mag-percentage. 0.0001. So, 0.0001 plus P sub 2, which is nandito, 0.002. 0.002. May decimal ito. So, total natin, we have 0.002 plus 0.0001. That is basically 0.0021. No? Ganun lang naman. Let's write here 0.00021. Ayan. Or this is equivalent to 21%. Now, if it happens na dinerecho nyo, ito kasi mahaba ito, na meron pang, kung ano kayo, no, naka-Excel kayo, wala akong problem dun. Kung nakadiretso kayo dyan, okay lang. Around 23% ang lalabas dito, no, kung itutuloy nyo to. Tsaka ito, may kadugtong pa yung mga numbers. It just so happen na naka-decimal. No, may mga chances kasi na pwede kang mag-fraction dito. And mas okay yun. So, 23% or sa atin, since naka-round off tayo sa 4 decimal, mag-21%. Ibig pong sabihin, no, kapag ang condition B, yung trinay nating isolve, tinatanong natin, so, kung ilang percentage yung probability na pinakamarami na yung dalawang tao ang mag-agree with this statement, that is equivalent to 21%. Ayan. So, sana na kuha ninyo. Next, we have here the third condition. At least 5 people will agree with that statement daw. So, let's check kung paano ba ito. Sa statement 3, at least daw 5 ang mag-a-agree. Anyway, no, ibig sabihin nun, parang dito, P of x at least 5 eh. Hindi na tayo dito gagamit ng less than or equals. Ano na tayo dito, greater than or equals 5. Sir, bakit naman naging gano'n, naging baliktad? Kasi kung titingnan nyo, at least 5. No? Pinakakonti na daw yung 5 tao yung mag-a-agree sa statement. And kung pinakakonti na yung 5, ibig sabihin nun, yung value ng x, pwedeng lumagpas ng 5. pwedeng equal sa 5, kaya may equal sign din tayo sa baba. Pwedeng equal sa 5, pwedeng 6, pwedeng 7, pero hindi pwedeng 8. Nakuha nyo? Kasi ang sample size natin is only 7. So, 5, 6, and 7. Nalagay natin dito. This means 5, 6, and 7. Okay, yan. So, nagdagdag ako ng slide, no, dahil baka kulangin. I-rewrite na lang natin. Kakasabi ko lang naman. See? No? Let's have muna may black pen. Ayan, ang magic black pen. Let's have here my pen. So, again, C is probability of X greater than or equals to 5. And if this is the case, no, again, this is 5, 6, 7. Ano yung probability na 5 ang mag-a-agree, eksaktong 5 ang mag-a-agree, eksaktong 6 ang mag-a-agree, and eksaktong 7 ang mag-a-agree. So, kung titingnan nyo, no, almost the same yung solution natin for this letter C sa ating letter B kanina. And for this solution, let's have first the value or the formula ng binomial probability distribution. So, that is P of X equivalent to, i-write ko lang, no, para we have our guide tulad kanina sa B. So, n factorial all over n minus x factorial multiplied to x factorial times the value of p raised to x multiplied again to the value of p raised to n minus x. Okay, so for the value of p of 5, i-direct substitute na natin. We have here the n. Sabi natin ang n natin is 7. So, factorial. All over n minus x, which is 7, minus ang x natin, which is 5. No? This will be factorial multiplied to x factorial, which is 5 factorial. Multiplied natin sa p, yung percentage na binabanggit ng Dole, which is equivalent to 0.83. No, then x natin, which is 5, multiplied to the value of q. Oops, bakit ko sinulat yung q? I-delete ko para meron tayong, ayan, delete ko. Ayan. Ang q na to is 0.17. Ito yung katumbas ng 0.83, na para maging total of 1 or 100%. 0.17 raised to n minus x, which is 7 minus 5, or diretso na natin na 2. If you will have this in the calculator, direct input na, this will give you a total answer of 0.2390. No, so I hope you get it. Let's now proceed with the probability of 6. Pareho lang, kopyahin lang lahat maliban sa 5 papalitan, no? So we have 7 factorial all over 7 minus 6 factorial multiplied to 6 factorial multiplied natin sa 0.83 raised to x natin. In our case, that is 6. So, 6 yan multiplied to 0.17 raised to n minus x, which is 7 minus 6, or basically that is 1. Tama? So, input nyo, direct input, this will give us a total of 0.3890 sa calculator. Okay? So, for the last probability na exacto 7, parang sinasabi dito, lahat yan mag-a-agree kay Dole. No? Oo, silang lahat. Okay, so let's have 7 factorial. Then, 7 minus 7 factorial multiplied to 7 factorial multiplied to 0.83 raised to x, which is 7. Minus tuloy multiplied to 0.17 raised to n minus x, which is again, n natin is 7. And ang x natin now is 7. So, 7 minus 7, that is 0. No? So, 0 magiging 1 yan. And, if you input this sa calculator, diretso na, no, this will give us a 0.2713 na final answer. Now, hindi pa po natin nakakuha yung probability na at least 5. Diba sabi doon, no? At least 5. Pinakakonti daw, 5 yung mag-a-agree. Ibig sabihin, again, 5, 6, 7. So, for us to be able to get the probability of x greater than or equals to 5, ang gagawin natin dyan will be i-add natin yung probability of having exactly 5 na mag-a-agree, and yung probability of 6, and of course, yung probability ng 7. Hanggang 7 lang, no? 7 lang yung ating tawag dito sample. So, next natin, so, probability of x greater than or equals to 5. Answer dito sa P of 5, 0.2390. So, 0.2390 plus P of 6, that is 3890. So, 0.3890 plus P of 7. Sinulat ko na naman. Erase ko ulit. Erase. Okay. P of 7, which is, balikan natin, ayun, 2713. 0.2713. Okay, for the probability of x greater than or equals to 5, that will be, total nito, i-add lang, no, that will be 0.8993, or in percentage, this is 89.93%. Meaning to say, no, kung meron tayong 7 tao, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ito yung condition ng letter C, which is equivalent to 89.93%. Ibig sabihin, karamihan doon, kung titignan ninyo, from this point hanggang dito sa point na to, karamihan sa kanila mag-a-agree kay Dole. 89.93%, to, napakalaki. No, ayun yung sinasabi naman ng condition 3. So, that basically ends up our, ayan, ito yung mga sagot, no. Sa A, tama naman tayo, 8.16. No? Sa B natin, sagot natin 0.23. Ito yung sa B, less than 2. No? Or marami na daw yun, dalawa, more than 2 na. And sa C, no, at least 5. So, at least 5. So, 89.93. And tama naman tayo. I hope you get the idea kung paano nag-work si binomial probability distribution.